Nuclear energy is not a very safe source. The United States produces the most nuclear energy in the world, which is more than 30%. Nuclear energy may seem to be a safe, clean source of energy, but in reality, it is more harmful than people think. To begin with, there have been many nuclear incidents of system failures in the past that confirm it's too dangerous for nuclear energy to be a source. The biggest incident at Chernobyl in 1986 was caused by severe damage to the core. The accident had caused around 200,000 deaths. In addition, nuclear facilities are the perfect vulnerable target for terrorist attacks. In the article, Counterpoint Nuclear Power is Not Worth the Risk, Al-Qaeda had planned to crash the planes into U.S. nuclear facilities during 9/11. It could have resulted in over 540 deaths. With this amount of casualties, nuclear power plants should be prepared and secure. According to the article, all nuclear reactors vulnerable to terrorism, a recent Defense Department Commission report had confirmed that all nuclear facilities in the U.S. were not well prepared for terrorist attacks. Plants near Gaithersburg, Maryland are some of the most vulnerable reactors that are less than 25 miles from the White House. In the article, Terrorists Can Turn Nuclear Waste into Deadly Dirty Bombs, it explains how nuclear facilities produce a large amount of waste each year that is not temporarily stored. Many terrorists can take advantage of this waste with no difficulty and create explosive devices dispersing radioactive waste able to cause damage in major cities. Given that terrorism is a problem today, nuclear power should not be an option for an energy source. Furthermore, the nuclear waste it creates and the other problems that come with it are a hazard to lives and the environment. Kerry v. Jordan states the waste from nuclear reactors, on average, take hundreds of years to naturally decay away. In Hanford Nuclear Reservation, they have had nuclear waste. They have had a past problem where 69 tanks and unidentified leaks, and since around 1950, around 1 million gallons of waste contaminate deep into the earth. According to Shannon Denny, nuclear waste is an unnecessary risk, and we know far too little about the substances it creates and how to combat the problems that may arise. The chemicals from a nuclear reactor could create a huge explosion even if a small quantity of different chemicals are in the same tank. In the article, Destroyed Nuclear Plants Become Environmental Wasteland, nuclear waste is very hard to control, and when leaked into the ecosystem, it can have drastic effects on humans and organisms nearby. And nuclear waste can have health effects because of radiation and chemicals, like increased chance of cancer, radiation poisoning, and less common severe health problems. There are many different risks that come with nuclear energy, and our lives cannot just take those dangerous risks. In order to keep the world safe, we either need to pay more attention to it and improve its security, or get rid of our nuclear energy sources.
My opponent said that the Chernobyl incident in 1986 was one of the worst incidents in the nuclear energy history. But what he forgot to say was that the USSR decided to do a test where they disabled the main power to the turbines that cleared the steam out. This was not a problem that happened from the radiation itself or the reactor itself. It was actually a problem in the steam. The steam built up and exploded, killing 2 people. The operator of the reactor also was not paying attention at the time to shut down the reactor when it started filling up with steam. This caused radiation to leak out and caused one of the biggest disasters in nuclear history. But this nuclear disaster only killed 56 people, not 2,000. My opponent also said that reactors are the biggest threat for a terrorist attack. I interviewed a senior reactor operator at the payload reactor. he said that they every year do six emergency tests to battle these emergencies that can possibly happen. Most of those including terrorist attacks. They are prepared and ready for any emergency that may happen at a reactor.
$12,048. Think about it. It's a big number. That's the amount of megawatts that come from one nuclear energy plant in one single day. That powers 1,000 houses. If nuclear power plants produce 99.8% more energy than coal and oil together, and it is a lot safer. Nuclear energy only produces 25 tons of carbon emissions a year compared to 1,100 tons of oil and coal. It is also safer than wind and hydroelectric power because those produce carbon too somehow. My opponent may say that nuclear power is dangerous because they don't know about it. Before we started this unit, I thought it was dangerous too, but it turns out it's not. Every way to harvest energy has its dangers. Oil can be explosions and leaks, and 2 years ago they leaked into the ocean and killed thousands of animals and fish, little fishies. It was pretty sad. And a wing can fall off, and if a wing falls off and hits someone, it would not be good. Hydroelectric can cause floods and electricity get into the water, which would sting a little bit. So, coal and oil and wind and hydroelectric are also dangerous and a lot more dangerous. And they have had several more incidents compared to nuclear energy, only having 3 main incidents ever.
My opponent said that nuclear reactors produce 12,048 megawatts a day. That is rated at full capacity for 24 hours. Almost all reactors do not run for 24 hours at full capacity. Because that'll just be because it'll be a waste of fuel and energy too much. Right. Well, too much. All said that the risk of the oil risk not too long ago killed thousands of marine life. But the nuclear reactor, when that melts down, that is for 25 to 50 miles radius, it makes that amount of area unlivable for thousands of years. Here's due to the amount of race and radiation. Fukushima, for example, that example is not too long ago. Surprisingly, it was a miracle that no one died at that incident, but by a strong accident, that made it no one can live there for almost ever. Radiation now actually never goes away. Neither does nuclear waste. What would you? What are we ever going to do with